Welcome to our Devos this week, where for the next 2 weeks we're talking about how to fight fair. You can't avoid conflict in this life. If you're dealing with any person, whether it's somebody you're married to, or whether it's somebody that you care about or somebody you work with, you're going to have conflict. But the Bible gives us a great amount of insight on how to handle these conflicts when they come up. And so today, when a conflict comes up, I'm going to give you something that you have to keep in your mind when you enter into a conflict. It's this: keep it situational, meaning keep it focused on the actual situation, on the actual conflict. If you missed it, I talked about our tendency previously to get historical. We bring up all the bad things of the person that we're in a conflict with, and we kind of visit that again in order for us to have ammunition when we get into the next conflict. But this one is a little bit different. I want you to focus on the actual situation, meaning like what actually happened, where were you hurt, what hurt you, and explain it in terms of you. Believe it or not, Jesus is really clear about this. And it's surprising to me as Christians. One of the things that we do is we love to study the Bible for truth and how to handle problems and arguing with people in truth. But Jesus's rules around conflict are so simple, but we hardly ever listen to them. So here's one that I will keep repeating throughout the next several devotions in different ways. And it's this: Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Look at what he says. He says, if your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault. Now, I like this is the English Standard Version, but the New Living Translation says this: point out the offense. So I like that translation a little bit better because he's talking about the offense, the actual offense, okay? Between you and him alone. If he listens, then you have gained your brother, like if you maintain that friendship. All right, but this is the point here. Point out the offense. Why is this so important? It's so important because what we have a tendency to do in any conflict, whether it's marriage or whether it's people that we work with or whether it's people that are our friends, our siblings, parents, whatever, is we abandon situation in lieu of character. We abandon situation in lieu of character. Let me explain. We start the conversation by saying, you know what, you're really mean. Or you actually are so overbearing. You have so many issues, okay? What we do is we start the conflict with a broad-stroked character assassination. And we are not situational at all. We're not even talking about ourselves. We're not talking about the offense or the fault that we believe this person has laid at us. We talk about that person's character. Now, if you come at me and you say, you know, Pastor Sam, I just want to let you know, you're a terrible teacher. I'm immediately going to be like, what? I'm like the best teacher I know. I'm not really. But I am the only teacher that I agree with every single thing I say. That's true, okay? But like if you come at someone and you tell them something horrible about themselves, if you say, you know what, you are so overreacting. Okay, what's that person going to do? They are going to shut down. They are going to completely dam up. And you're not going to have an actual conversation. What you're going to have is defense. I am not this way. I don't do this. I don't do that. They're going to have to defend themselves because you've created a point of defense. However, keeping it situational is this. Hey, yesterday at that staff meeting, you said that I am completely bad with details and that I always botch the job. That really bothered me because I feel that I try to do X, Y, and Z, fill in the blank. So this really hurt me. Now, that is completely different than, hey, you're a jerk. You acted like an idiot in the staff meeting. This is focused on, number one, the offense, and number two, how you feel that it was a fault to you. This is Jesus's recipe for confrontation. A self-focus with a curiosity to the other person. Like, I don't know why you did this or how you meant this, but this is what happened in the situation. And you let them have an opportunity to resolve, okay? Now, it won't always resolve where they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you felt that way. I didn't mean to do that. But this is the way that you approach the confrontation. If you go at it with two guns blazing on character assassination, everyone's going to lose. But if you go at it from the offense standpoint of where you were offended, where you were hurt, how it happened, then you have a better chance of doing what Jesus says is the ultimate goal here, is gaining that person, or I should say, maintaining that relationship. There are tons of rules of engagement. There are tons of rules of engagement that the Bible lists when it comes to conflict. And every single time that we listen to what Jesus says or listen to what the Bible says, we have a greater chance of maintaining the relationships that matter most.